Finlay says fine.
That
That's
could be a mistake against that man.
You know, maybe Strong feels that a time limit draw might open the door for another Finlay opportunity. Maybe he wants to be one and done here with Finn.
That's a good point, you know, or maybe he's obviously done his homework. I mean, you'd have to be an absolute fool not to know about this man and not to know how tough he is. Maybe he thinks, no, I can't get the job done in 15. I'm going to need 20, 25 to beat a guy of this stature. And he wants to get it done, you're right.
Now, Nigel, of course, and I don't say this because you're both from Europe, but you know of Finlay's reputation from growing up over there.
Without a doubt. When I was 8 years old, watching British wrestling on television, Saturday afternoon, there was no one who put the fear of God into me like Fit Finlay. Just genuinely hated by the fans, but you had to respect the man. So tough. So tough. Third generation, obviously now, you know, his kids are getting into the business as well. His son starting the right way over to Japan. His daughter, believe it or not, is actually already at 11 years old, a two-time Georgia state champion. People say about wrestling being in their blood, it's in their blood. And it's, for me, I've got goosebumps. My hair is on end just standing close to this man. I think when I think about the fact that I retired without wrestling this man, it's arguably one of the biggest disappointments of my career.
Well, I wonder if Roderick Strong will feel that same way. He does have the opportunity to lock up with Finlay, and it's not feeling too good right now.
Just, I mean, absolutely. When a guy is as good as Finlay, everything he does, no wasted motion, like an artist. He dissects people. But
it's about, I mean, it's as brutal in art form as you can imagine, because what he does is not subtle.
Absolutely. There are certain subtleties to it that you don't pick up until you've really been in the business, in the sport of professional wrestling for a long time. It looks basic, and it is relatively basic, but a lot of times it takes you a long time to understand that. And that side headlock, the way he's wrenching on it, the way he's keeping it nice and tight, working that arm to try and pull him down again. Wrist lever there, pulls him right back down, cover. And look at that, 53 years old, but still on top of Roderick Strong.
And Roddy, of course,
not used to this, not used to being manhandled this way.
He fancies himself as the finest conditioned athlete in Ring of Honor, and at least at the early going. Finlay is showing him that he is the equal.
It's not often, you know, when we were all wrestling fans, and most of us were wrestling fans. Grabs that front face lock there, quickly. Finlay going for the single leg, but Roderick just quick enough to grab the front face. Looking for that clean break there. Is he going to get it? Throws that knee in there. There's the opportunity, but no, right back on it.
And there you see it.
I was saying before, it's not often. Obviously, we're all fans before we get into this business. We all have people we admire. And a lot of times, unfortunately, when you get into the sport of professional wrestling, some of those guys, when you meet them, they don't live up to the hype.
Right.
Fit Finlay more than lives up to the hype, you know.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me that I'm more in awe of this man once I was inside the sport than when I was a fan.
And Finlay, of course, you know, maintaining a grueling schedule now, competing all over. And at 53, hardly a wilting flower.
Yep, driving that knee into his knee there. Drops that leg. Yep. Look at the angle he's talking on that. Roderick trying to get his right leg up there to take some of the tension off. And let's not take anything away from Roderick Strong, who, in my opinion, is one of the toughest guys I've ever wrestled.
And that's funny because for this generation, yes, Roderick Strong is well known for his toughness.
But Finlay's just showing you something here, you know. Back when Finlay was starting out in the sport of professional wrestling, he wrestled 6-7 times a week against guys who would legitimately try and hurt him. That was the way you learnt to be a professional wrestler back then. So you can't teach that. Unfortunately, a lot of the guys nowadays, me included, did not get that opportunity. I'd love to. But that's what you're seeing here. Just the confidence, the poise, the way he holds himself. No wasted motion. It comes from being in the ring, night in, night out.
And now I wonder if Roderick Strong is starting to have second thoughts about signing off on that no time limit.
He knows he's got to do something to create that opportunity because Finlay is not going to give it to him.
And it may not be the question of whether or not Roddy doesn't know if he can beat Fit Finlay. He's trying to figure out, perhaps, Nigel, how to do it.
Right.
Whatever he came in with, maybe he needs to go to a plan B.
Went behind, he's trying to get, he's looking for that Kimura there. He's got it half hooked, has to drop to his back and try and hook his legs around his waist, really get it. But Finlay, I think, is far too strong at this point to let him do that. There we go, he gets him to the ropes.
Yeah, and let's look
forcing a break.
Yeah, so the calling for the break. Will there be a clean break? Finlay, his midsection wide open, and Roderick Strong capitalized.
Wow, look, oh yeah. Did you see that?
Yep.
How often do you see in the sport of professional wrestling someone get chopped and like, oh my God, try and get out the ring? Not Finlay. Jumped straight for that single leg, took him down. But look at Roddy. Already trying to come back out to the arm.
He certainly is, and it's that multi-generational toughness that we do see so many times. And learning the trade in a different era, as you did say.
And a foot on the face there, look at that, yeah. But he's straight up. Trust me, Fit Finlay has seen it all in his 30-plus years in professional wrestling. Classic rivalries with the likes of Marty Dones, Danny Boy Collins, Rollerball Mark Rocco, who people will know as Black Tiger from Japan, Johnny Saint, Chick Cullen, even Davey Boy Smith in his youth.
Yep.
A relative who's who of worldwide professional wrestling. And he has still, oh, look at that.
Started on the carnival circuit. Many times would, wait a minute now, shoulders down. Despite being a teenager at the time, fans would get the opportunity to see if they could knock the then young Finlay down. And when you're fighting in those situations, you certainly learn how to maybe take liberties with the human anatomy to teach a lesson.
You just know how to protect yourself at all times, you know, and we've seen that 2 or 3 times here. A lesser man would have just, you know, tried to get out of dodge, but he's aggressive. He's right back to him. Oh, there's a chop. And a punch to the face. Oh! Thumb in the eye. Roddy hardly able to see at this point. Oh, drops him right on the guardrail. Back in the ring to break the count. I am in awe of this man, I tell you what. Maybe I'm second-guessing my desire to get in the ring with him because you want to talk about unbreakable, that's unstoppable.
And you know, I was caught up in I was awestruck myself here with Finlay and getting this match underway. I forgot, we don't have Truth Martini to deal with.
That's right, I didn't even think about that. Right?
I mean, Adam Cole's super kick has dimmed Martini's lights. And the leader of the House of Truth, I guess, is going to be a non-factor here in this one.
Thank God.
Boy, you saw how Roddy there drove the midsection, drove the back of Finlay. Oh, man.
Look at that. Look at the face on Roddy now. Almost like there's doubt there, like, wow, I didn't realize how tough this guy is. But he's giving it back to him.
I would say that if there was a modern-day wrestler who could hang with the likes of a Finlay, it would be Roderick Strong, meaning in their youth, in that tough era, in that 6-7 days a week, cover, 2.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from Roderick Strong because, I mean, you know, I talked about how tough it was back in Finlay's era, but Roderick Strong started professional wrestling when he was very young. People took liberties with him back then. He had to fight for his life in those early matches as well. A lot of times, you know, when a guy's starting out, even nowadays, people will try and take liberties and try and prove something to them. Roderick more than stood up for himself, and that's why he's such a tough guy now.
And certainly is, of course, now the second Triple Crown holder in Ring of Honor history. Has held the tag team titles, the world title, and now the television champion. And it's on the line here against the Belfast bruiser Fit Finlay at Border Wars. Jawbreaker there from Fit.
You can see on the side of Fit, of his lat down there, there's a couple of red marks from where he was dragged along the guardrail here.
Yeah, shoulders down.
Those things can be razor sharp. I know Colt Cabana almost lost a bicep one time.
Yeah, Eddie Edwards still bears the scars of those barricades on his back.
Ever so dangerous. You want to talk about stars? If you look on the back left calf of Finlay, you can still see the scar of where it nearly ended his career in that hardcore match where he was put through the table. Right over there in front of us. They said it was the end of his career, but came back 3 or 4 years later, arguably as strong as ever. And what a testament to this man.
Certainly has, but now look at what Roderick Strong is able to do.
Oh, he can't get those legs up to protect himself now.
Here goes.
Boot to the gut. So many vital organs down there, Kevin, that you can cause damage to.
Roddy drawing the ire of the fans here at the Ted Reeve.
You know, and I wonder what Roderick's game plan going into this was. How do you approach a guy like Finlay, you know? I mean, I'm not sure if he was aware of his pedigree. He's obviously knows how long he's wrestling, but I think a lot of times when people see, him on TV dancing around with a little person, they can be excused for not knowing just how tough and just what a professional wrestler this man is.
And you look at what Finlay has done also as well in helping train others. Roddy needs to maybe think about following up instead of playing to the crowd who doesn't like him.
And you can definitely see a difference between the two people. When Fit had the advantage, he stayed on it. I mean, Roderick's doing that, but he's at the same time taking that opportunity to gloat in his advantage, and that is a huge mistake against the guy, the caliber of Finlay.
Certainly is, and you saw that open wound on the back of Finlay. Shoulders are down in just a 2.
I talked to Robbie Brookside, who's arguably one of the best veterans of the British game. Talked to him about Finlay, and he said there is no one like him in the history of the British game. Finlay grabbing his ribs now, obviously in trouble. If I was Roderick, you've got to keep going for that. He's got the stronghold, which obviously works on the ribs.
Right.
I don't know whether I'd go for it early and just see how weak Finlay is or not. Be interesting to see. I saw the look in Roderick Strong's eyes earlier on. I'm not sure if you did, Kevin, where there was doubt, where he was like, this guy's whipping my butt.
Right. Wow.
Look at that. European double chops to the throat. And here we go, just like that. Turn things around. Stomped into the gut.
Nothing subtle at all about Finlay. Shoulders of the champion are down. 2 count.
I would love to be in the mind of Finlay now. All those years of experience. What is he thinking at this point? Is he thinking, I'm in trouble, I've got to end this soon? He's asking the referee to check his ribs. He obviously knows he's cut up. Doesn't know how badly injured he is. Ever so dangerous in a professional wrestling match. You get cut, there's staph, there's so many bacteria on the mat that can infect someone. Finlay's seen a lot of it.
Up and down with the suplex. Sinclair in position, but Finlay kicks out at 2. But each kick out from Finlay off of every repeated pinning combination gets a little slower and a little longer and a little closer towards 3.
And look at Roddy here. I'm not sure whether I'd do that against a guy the caliber of Finlay, but watch out behind you. There it is.
Enjoying with the fans. Shoulders down. Almost
so
a new World Television Champion.
You see how tight he pinned him there. Came over on top and again asking the referee to check his ribs.
Here
we go. He's looking for that stronghold if he can get it over.
Can he turn him over? Can he turn Finlay over and lock in the stronghold?
This is actually Marty Jones, who was one of Finlay's longtime rivals, used this hold. He called it the power lock and beat many people with it. Will we see him tap here? He knows the way out of it though. The punch just gets him out of it. As I said, Finlay's seen that hold before. He must know 100 ways out of it. Listen to the sound of that forearm. And again. Roddy's proving something to me here. He looks tired, he looks beleaguered, but wait a second. Oh, Finlay roll.
Got it. Strong backing away to the corner, though. Nails him. Do we have a new World Television Champion? Oh!
Just two, kicked out.
That was it.
I can't see Finlay's face from my vantage point, but yeah, he's grabbing his side again. That could have affected his, psyche in this one.
I'm sure Finlay thought he had put Roddy away. Oh, wow. All the way off the top rope and down on the floor.
It's so tough to remain impartial in this, you know, when I know how tough Finlay is, and Roderick Strong is holding his own.
Now pulling out the ring apron. Top turnbuckle pad came off. Straight kick right to the face, right to the chest.
And he's aggressively picking him up.
Double knee gutbuster. Cover. 2. Now.
Look at Roderick Strong for all of his, his conditioning, all the work that he does in the gym. He's smart as well. He may have even seen the ribs injured. He may have seen Finlay asking the referee, and he is now focusing with those double knees to the ribs. Oh! Sweat flies.
Huge collision there with the clothesline. Bombs away there from Finlay. 2. Look at how desperate Roddy is, showing that shoulder had broken contact with the canvas as his right arm shoots up towards the sky.
You can see with Finlay's face here just starting to tire. Oh, he's out.
Sick kick across the jaw of Fit Finlay. 2. Got him.
That is it. Finlay's out. Wow.
World Television Champion, Roderick Strong.
It may not have been the game plan he came in with,